All right, so round 4 is the fan favorite board game Karens, and as you can see, my points are lacking. And since I make like 20 points
That's
in
true.
this game, I
It's
feel
still in
like
the bag.
it's still anybody's game. So let's see what happens. Actually, we did change the points around a little bit. It was a little unclear last time we played,
Mm-hmm.
so let's just throw it out there this time.
Whatever.
The real rules, and that is I'm going to read off a question, or sorry, not a question, a quote from Board Game Geek. This person has rated this board game a 1, and everyone's going to be able to guess what board game that is. If they get it right on the first pick, they're going to get 3 points. Then I'll give another clue. They're going to write down what they think. It could be the same game, they could change their mind, or they can double down. If they get it right, at that point, they will get 2 points, and then a third question, and they'll get 1 point. If anybody after the 3 guesses does not get it correct, I will get 1 point. So the max I can get is 3 points. The max any of them can get is 3 points per round. But I made it to where it should be easy for them to guess,
I was going to say
especially after the third question.
Last time, didn't you get like 12 points per question or something like that? It was
Yeah,
ridiculous.
I mean, it was. I mean, I
time.
could go over the rules from last time. I have them
No, we're
memorized.
not going to. No, there's no point.
Okay.
It's okay.
All right, so let's get into it. We're gonna read from the first quote that I have here. It says, "I have no use for a game that I have no chance to win due to another's action or inaction. I'm one and done on this one." And as a quick reminder, all of these games are games that we've talked about on the show at some point. Okay. All right, guys. So you've had some time to write it down. So let's see. John, what did you get?
Between Two Cities.
Between Two Cities. All right. I can't tell you if you're right or wrong, but so Chris, what do you have?
I went with Power Grid because you know what? At least more focus on Power Grid.
All right, Andy.
I did
Catan.
because
Okay.
people don't trade with me.
And
All
you
right,
actually
well-
know the answer because this is your quote. You rated it a 1 and put this one.
That's right.
what it
That's right.
was.
My quote. My quote.
All right. Good to know that you guys all picked a different game. So that means someone got it wrong. At least
You
one
got at
person.
least 2 points. Look at you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Next clue. I find childish artwork marketed to adults very unsettling. I give it a 1. Also, these clues can, they build off of each other. So you got to think of all of them. It's not a standalone clue. We're going to start with Andy this time. Andy, what'd you guess? Bad Company. All right. That is definitely a guess. All right. John.
That's the terrible art.
Yeah.
I did Bad Company as well.
Bad Company. We had 2 for Bad Company. All right. I don't know. We've talked about this before. If Chris guessed Bad Company, maybe whether they're right or wrong, they should get points. All right, Chris, what do you got?
Unfortunately, we do not have to cross that bridge, but I'm actually worried that they're right on that one. I went with Sentinels, so the multiverse.
Ooh.
Sentinels of the
Art is
Multiverse.
not good to me. So
I can see how
I
that
will
would be.
say, if you are correct, Chris, I am offended that they would think comic book is childish. I, for one, would firmly disagree with that.
it wasn't that; it was that actual art because comic book art's all over the place. So you got like comic book art like Kingdom Come that's amazing, and then you have stuff that looks ridiculous. So
All right, fair. All right, you guys ready for the third one?
Let's do
Sure.
it.
It is a great game for all the closet sociopaths that want to spend 2 hours learning rules so that you can spend 2 more hours killing small animals with their friends. At least put a violent theme on it to match the contents, like Vikings or hipsters defending fair trade coffee.
what? Can I get that again?
What?
What?
Yeah, he wants more violent themes on it, like Vikings or hipsters defending fair trade coffee. Because, nothing gets people more riled up than hipsters
Yeah, I mean, that's fair. But
protesting their
First
coffee
one
drinks.
again? Can't tell if that's them being like snarky or that's actually part of the game.
That's what I was
It's-
wondering.
I assume it's
I
not.
think
but
I think I got it. I feel really comfortable now.
what game? Dude,
Well, I'm glad you
I-
feel comfortable in your skin.
I feel so
Uh,
comfortable.
we'll go.
Is that what
with-
you meant?
All right.
Yes.
Not sticking with Between Two Cities.
Good call.
Go with- I can't believe that I can't think of the name the name of this game. Actually, I just got it, but I already wrote it down, and I'm going to let it stay. You'll
Okay.
enjoy the name that I put up. So
Okay. So Andy, since you seem to be the most confident, we're gonna start with John. John, what do you have?
I was all ready to go.
Bunny
What did
Kingdom.
you write down?
Bunny
Oh.
Kingdom.
Bunny Kingdom. All
okay,
right.
okay.
That would seem to fit all of the theme except
Thank
for
you.
murder. All right. Chris, what do you have?
So this one's actually more about making bread than killing small animals. But I went with Yui Farm because I
Yui
couldn't think of Agricola at that moment for some crazy reason.
All right. Well, once again, you failed to encapsulate murder in your answer, so I don't have confidence. All right, Andy,
Right here.
what about you?
I got this.
Okay. Root. Well, guys, I will tell you that root is the correct answer.
Whatever.
Woo,
2
yeah.
hours of killing small animals, childish artwork. And I
Yeah.
will say the first clue is actually really good in context with everything else, because that is a legitimate criticism that the whole game can be foiled because one faction does not take the actions they should be.
Yep.
So
Yep. Oh,
Good
and what got
point.
me there is that last clue is taking forever to read the rules. And I was like, well, what is that complex? And I was like,
Yeah.
oh, a game where everybody has totally different rules with how they play.
that's right. Well, good
Makes
job,
sense
Andy.
now.
You got some points.
Woohoo!
And you prevented me from getting 1 point, but I did get 2. Haha, my comeback is pending.
Ridiculous.
All right. Are we ready for our second game?
Let's
Yep.
do it.
Okay. I have to stand and sit down so many times, it feels like a physical exercise, not a board game. Looking at the text of the card in the middle of the board is a pain in the rear. The game is a table hog with a 0.0001% interaction between players. The only fair selling point is that the girls around me are screaming from how much they like the artwork.
So many of it sounded true to this game, and now I'm
Yep.
wondering.
That last sentence killed it here, but I'm still going with it. So the first part made me go ahead and start writing down immediately, and I was like, oh, this is actually Andy's quote. This is actually something he said.
Chris, we might be on the same wavelength.
Mm-hmm.
No interaction. That's what throws me.
That gets me too, though. But
I
I'm
had
going
it
with it.
until
I'm-
that.
Yeah, because this one actually has a fair amount of interaction, even though I actually hate that about the game. But that's
I'm
all.
going forward like a runaway train with it. I don't care.
Oh, gee,
Yep.
I got to think of something.
I was like halfway through the word, and I was like, "Oh, it ain't this one." I'm
Yeah,
going.
me too.
I'm
That
leaning into
last
the
thing,
game.
I was like, I got this, and then no.
Okay. All right, guys. What do we have? Chris, I haven't started with you yet. What did you get?
All right, we got Keyflower because
Ah.
Andy
Keyflower.
literally talked about how he doesn't like the fact that he has to stand up and walk around. Oh no, actually,
Ah.
that's not Keyflower. I'm wrong. Actually, that was well, I'll wait because I think maybe John wrote that down. So John, what
All
do you
right.
got? I'm hijacking here.
Are we
Yeah,
doing me?
John. Yep.
Challengers.
Yeah,
Challengers.
exactly.
See, I thought about that, but then there's interaction, right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, but it is a
Kind of,
1
not
rating.
really.
I couldn't think of anything, so I just thought of something with nice artwork. I don't know that it would make girls scream, but I picked
Arboretum?
Yeah,
Arboretum.
Okay.
Okay. All right. There were some better choices than others on that one. All right. Let's read quote 2. Anthropomorphic animals rarely bring any value and usually only have unnatural sentiments.
Mm.
That's a 1 if I ever heard it.
That's it. That's
You
all
don't
they
wanna
said.
have- You don't want to have unnatural sentiments.
I'm back to root again.
I don't think it's going to be
Honestly, my
rooting.
brain went there too, but I was like, that can't be it.
Oh
But,
my gosh, these are so hard.
Yeah.
It's something we've talked about on the show.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you guys, all of these have animals in them. How about that?
Oh, that's your theme.
Yeah.
Uh,
All right, Andy, what do you have? Use your words.
Bad company.
Bad company.
yes.
So I
Didn't
mean,
that
why
have-
not?
Didn't that have anthropomorphic animals?
I don't think so.
Really? Didn't it have
All
like
right.
a skunk dressed up as a cop or something?
No.
All right,
There
never
could
mind.
be an animal in there. There are some weird pictures. All right, John, what do you have?
I'm barreling ahead. The train is still out of control. I'm sticking with challengers.
Mm.
All right.
Mm.
Okay. Chris, what about you?
I I went to a callback to a previous answer and then took it a completely different direction by just making a music joke, and I went with Maggie's Farm. So to use
Maggie's
farm, Maggie's Farm. It's a music reference. Don't worry about it.
Okay, I won't. All right. Ready for number 3, guys?
Number 3.
I can't tell if this game made me hate worker placement, tableau builders, or both. The only thing good about this game is the art and the components. The first few plays, I spent so much time just reading the cards.
Not sticking with challengers.
Okay, I got an answer, I think, maybe.
I don't really have a good answer at all.
Chris, what do you got?
Well, because John changed it, I figured I'd sneak in and steal the point. I went with challengers and the off chance it is.
Yes, because there's so much text to read on those cards. Thank you, Chris, for that insightful guess.
Indeed.
All right, Andy, what do you have?
I almost went with Bunny Kingdom, but then I went to Everdell.
Everdell. That seems like a good guess. It has
That
animals,
actually is
tableau
fair.
building, a lot of reading. Girls go ooh about the art.
Mhm.
Seems pretty good. John,
Those
what do you
berries?
have?
If I'd have thought of Everdell, but I don't know if we've really talked about it on the show, so maybe not.
Yeah.
But I don't know if we've talked about this yet either, except in our Gen Con episode. But Fit to Print. is
Okay.
what's on there. You get the
No,
animal.
that was actually legitimate there. Your first good guess.
Thanks.
John.
Thank you.
You're welcome. But Andy is right. It's Everdell.
Yay!
And
Somebody
if you
got it.
forget, when we talked about that, that was the episode we had with Sarah Shawn when we did it Play Shelf
yes.
Trade.
Oh, that's what it was. That's right.
That's even more impressive because I wasn't on that show and
How
I
about
don't watch
that?
our shows back, so I had no idea.
All right. So now we're moving on to the third and last game. Really ugly game design, too big for a standard table, and seriously boring theme and long gameplay. Most of my friends have left it in their collection because it's the only game their wives would consider playing, mainly because there is minor to no interaction, which says enough. Too much undeserved hype around this game. Only the wives will play it.
See, that's the part that throws me off. Is like I was like, I think I know what this is, and then the wives, what? That
I will say the
messes with
wives
me.
might be a red herring.
Sure.
Yeah,
Or maybe your comment is.
maybe
maybe
they're
all
married.
of it.
Maybe they're married to some really weird wives.
With red hair. Ing.
Oh.
Oh,
All right, John, what's your first guess?
This is going to win me the game. Wingspan.
Wingspan. All right.
Mm,
The ladies do like the wingspan.
they do.
Chris,
They do.
what do you have?
That's a real good one. I just piggyback off what Andy said the whole game, Bunny Kingdom, because I couldn't think of anything different. Except I know that there's quite a bit of interaction, and it's not even all that big of a board. But I was like, whatever.
One day that will be right, and it could be now. We don't know.
Maybe.
It could
All
be a
right.
box.
This
Could
is
be a
gonna
box. Could be a
this
boat. Andy.
This is not going to be right, but I put Scythe.
Scythe. All right. You know the ladies like Scythe.
Yes.
Okay.
They do.
And little player interaction in that game as well.
Very little interaction. All right. Ready for the second one.
Yeah, please.
The mechanics are extravagantly ripped off. There's so much bloat to do a single blatant thing that matters for endless hours. If you're lucky enough to draw matching cards and take the best benefit before others.
I feel like someone may have taken my brain and reworded my brain and posted it. If I'm right about the game.
Yeah, I don't know.
Chris, what do you have?
Wonderland's War.
All right. I would agree that fits a lot of the things that are in this quote. All right, John.
Forging ahead with Wingspan, though it doesn't make as much sense now. But since they don't like this game that much, they might have a weird skewed
You might
view
think
of
there's
it.
a lot of bloat in the game.
Yeah.
All right, Andy, what do you have?
I put, despite the fact that I actually like the game, I put Agricola.
I love that you guys are just copying off each other.
Huey Farm.
much are.
Huey Farm.
Huey Farm. Okay. You guys might be so far away. I don't know if this third one's gonna be helpful, but I had to put it on there. All right. Number 3 is There is no capybaras in this game.
That's
Wait,
it?
what?
That's it. It makes sense if you think about a game capybaras should be in.
What's a capybara?
It's like a 5-foot rodent. It's a capybara.
Oh, I've heard of the chupacabra, but I've never heard of
There,
that.
Google search it.
Okay. How do you pronounce this? Does it sound?
There's even a capybara song.
There's no capybaras in the game.
There's no capybaras in the game, which
It should be.
makes it a 1. If there was a capybara, this could have been a 10.
I got it.
How big are these things?
They're big.
Giant cavey rodent. Wow. Okay. Well, get ready, people in my DCC campaign.
Andy, what's your final guess?
I am going to just jump on John's bandwagon and say Wingspan.
there are no capybaras in Wingspan. You
That's
are
right. That's right.
All right, John.
I left that train, and I went with this is a game, Princess Bride, because rodents of unusual size, I thought is what they were looking for, or RUS.
Okay.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, that is true. They're rats. They should have been capybaras, but capybaras aren't scary. They look like little Labradors.
Yeah,
Not when
or
I'm done.
gerbils, or
I'll tell you
big
that.
gerbils.
Terrifying. Multiple eyes, tentacles. It's going to be terrifying. All right. Here we go.
Chris,
So I'm staying with it and going with Wonderland's War. We'll see what happens.
Wonderland's War.
Okay.
All right. So, guys, I think when I tell you what this is, you're going to go, oh, of course. So, put in the comments if you figured it out before these guys did. This is my first 3-pointer. This is the first board game, Karen, that you guys did not get the correct answer for. So, the right answer is Arc Nova.
Yeah.
What?
Our producer, Randy, knew it.
What?
Yeah, very large board.
Yeah.
It's full of bloat just to do one action, which I kind of get it because it has the river, you know? So, like, if
Yeah.
you want to build something, you kind of got to do a bunch of stuff just to get to that building. So,
The bloat is what
It
put
is.
me on Wonderland's War. I was like, oh, this game's nothing but bloat.
Yeah, I thought you were onto something with Wonderland's War potentially.
Yeah.
yeah. All right, guys. Well, sorry for your failure of being accurate in this segment. But you know what? Despite my attempts at making this easier for you guys, I almost snuck back with a sneaky victory, but I was so far in the negatives that Andy, you ended up taking the gold today. So Andy, you get your 2 minutes to say whatever you want to say. Hopefully it's about board games and not peanut butter and jelly.
Well, okay, fine. We'll keep it about board games. That's fine. I want to talk to you about a problem I have, and I may have mentioned this before on the show. I'm sure I have, in fact, and that is we kind of alluded to it earlier with the shelf of shame, and that is I need help. I need help, guys. I've got to figure out a way to thin my collection. I've got to get away from buying the hotness, and I've got to figure out what it is that I actually like. This is a weird industry because it's so bloated, to use a word we just used, with games right now that I think sometimes I get confused about what I even enjoy. And that's because there's so many new hot games. They're like, oh, well, that looks cool. And that so-and-so likes that. It's like peer pressure. It's like high school all over again or something, or middle school. And it's like, I got to get that because, well, Daniel and John are raving about that. Then I play it and I go, oh, what? That's terrible. And I've got too many games on my shelf that fit into this category. And I've got so many that I got to get to play. I just need help. I need help. I need a strategy. I feel like I need, what's that? There was that woman that got really popular a few years ago for helping people get rid of stuff, the hoarder or whatever, where you bring your object into your room and you say, does it give me love? Does it make me feel good? If it doesn't bring me joy, then I get rid of it. That was it. Does it bring me joy? So I think I'm going to start doing that. I'm going to take all my board games off my shelf. I'm going to put it in the middle of the table, and I'm going to do this whole exercise. Maybe I should videotape this, although it would be really annoyingly long, and go, does this bring me joy? Does it? No, it doesn't. And then I'll give it away. Or sell it. Actually, I'll probably sell it. Need to sell it.
Yeah, I was
Got
going to
too
say,
many.
like,
Too many
Yeah,
to just give away.
As the person who just organized your board game shelf, I would prefer you not to take every game off your shelf and put it in the middle of your floor.
well, I did not know you did that. That's insane, Daniel.
He did,
and Andy,
he did,
yeah,
and it looks beautiful. But the problem is, is there's no rhyme or reason to any of it now. So now I can't find games. I at least had it like by player count before.
Wow, that's good. Mine's just in there, but yeah, you definitely can't do that, Andy, because like again, you would need multiple closets, because that one closet of all the games that you give away that you're ashamed of is already full. So
It's true.
yeah, that would be
true.
a huge undertaking. But
I shouldn't be allowed to go to Gen Con. I think I shouldn't be allowed to go to these things. I feel like, I think addicts can get themselves banned from casinos by calling ahead. I feel like I need to be calling ahead to like board game conventions, like, hey, can you put me on the list? The list of guys that can't come here because I got a problem, man.
You don't have to buy things there.
Yeah.
That's what they say. That's how they get you, though, John.
I know.
That's how they get me.
I'm well aware.
I've been trying to help you with this since day one, Andy. I've been telling you the truth about it, like I did all those people in high school. Like I just gave them the finger, and the same thing with oh hey, this game's cool and new. Give you the finger. I don't care. It looks dumb to me, or it's going to cost money, and I already got this game on my shelf I still haven't even played. So no, I don't care about this new game.
Old man Chris for the win.
That's right.
Look at Chris being all high and mighty over there, not buying board games.
That's right. Cancel board games. That's what I'm doing.
Well, Chris, I understand that we might be moving into a segment we haven't covered in a while. Is that true? Relegation?
I'm very excited about this segment.
Well, I'm looking forward to the definition of relegation.
Well, friends, it's time for celebration. Yes.
Celebration or relegation?
Cover this game with, normally when you bury a thing at 6 feet, we need to choose at least 600 feet. Maybe the core of the earth to bury this game into, because I am elated to come to you and tell you today that Keyflower has fallen off the top 100.
No!
And you know what? I think it is no coincidence that it's done that after I brought it up on the show and told everyone why it's terrible. It's not a coincidence. It happened after we did it. Maybe time, but I don't think so. That's not the truth that I believe, and my truth is all that matters, right? So my truth is that it fell off the top 100 because I illuminated the trash that game is.
Chris, I just complimented you, and then you bring this to my attention and revel in it when you know I love Keyflower?
I do, yeah.
Hey, Andy, don't feel too bad. This time it was directed at me.
Well, that's fine.
That was Chris just spiking the football on my grave.
Right, people spread the love. I spread the hate.
So do we know what replaced it?
I forgot to look for that.
Actually,
it dropped off. That's all it cared.
No, I do know, and I'm actually offended. And Andy, you will be too.
Oh no!
It's not Concordia, because Concordia is already on the list.
Sure,
but it's Concordia Venus, which I think is the co-op version of Concordia.
It is, and that doesn't count. That does not count. So Keyflower is still on the top 100. Doesn't count.
That's right.
You don't
doesn't count.
It's an expansion. Expansions don't count. They don't count. They don't count.
I will put an asterisk on this and agree with you guys. That way I can bring it up and trash it again when it really does fall off.
All right. Well, thank you to everyone who has been a part of our wonderful viewing audience today. We would like to encourage you to subscribe and like and join us on the various social mediums out there, including Facebook. We have a group around the board where we talk about a lot of different things. If you want to give us some ideas for segments on the show or just trash us for our opinions, please, by all means, do so. We enjoy that very much. You can send us an email to mail@aroundtheboard.net. Or reach out to us again on the various social media. And so anything else
if you want to get interaction with Old Man Chris, you got to go with Facebook. I don't have Twitter or TikTok or all those other things. So if you want to talk to me, you got to get on the Facebook group.
I'm going back to what's it called? The beep 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 thing. What is that?
MySpace?
No, telegrams? Is that what it is? No, it's
telegrams.
Carrier pigeons.
Carrier pigeons.
We know
Pony
we're bad
Express.
at this.
The
Let us
Pony
know how
Express.
bad we are.
Indeed.
Bye, guys.
Thank you for watching this clip from Around the Board. If you'd like to watch the full episode, please click on the link down below. Around the Board is essentially a game show featuring 4 board game enthusiasts that discuss board game topics and news in a competitive format. Whoever wins gets to talk about whatever he wants at the end of the show. So please join us, won't you, around the board.